Hello and welcome to the HackCollege podcast. The HackCollege podcast is a supplement to HackCollege.com, a life hacking blog for and by college students. Work smarter, not harder. I'm Kelly Sutton.
And I'm Chris Lozinski. Today we're doing things a little differently. We've broken the show down into segments, which we referenced a while ago.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll speed things up a bit.
Yes.
So today's show, we're going to cover rule of thumb, which is week's news in brief, kind of.
Yeah.
We're going to cover a little beer review. We're going to cover one of our posts that we did this week, and we're also going to talk about some banks that are trying to screw students over.
After
all
they
the banks.
graduate. Yeah, after
you graduate.
But before we get started, we'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsor this week, Radar.net. Radar is a camera phone picture messaging service. Check them out at the end of the podcast when we talk about them a little bit more. Shall we get into the rule of thumb?
Here's the rule of thumb, okay? We're going to introduce something from the week's news. We got 4 topics. Education news.
Yes.
Each of us gives thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs to the side, and then we
Yes.
have 90 seconds to discuss whatever the item is.
All right, let's get into it. Story number 1. Social networking site for librarians hits the scene. Originally reported from the Chronicle. What are you going to give it?
I'm going to give it a thumbs down.
Yeah, definitely. Take it away.
It's called LibGig, so go to libgig.com. It's not really a social network, so first of all, that's why I'll thumbs down. It's not actually a social network, okay? It's basically like an amalgamation of blogs and forums, and nobody's really used it yet.
Yeah.
It looks like a website, basically, that someone made.
Yeah, my big problem with this is that I don't know why librarians need their own social networking site, or why they didn't just go to ning.com to create their own social networking site. So
They might have used one of those things like Brick-a-Box or...
Yeah.
But I do think that there's a place for like social networks for educators, because I think it's important that they like share information and stuff like that to make things efficient across the board, but this is not the best implementation, in my opinion.
Okay, moving on.
Okay, next story. Michael Wesch, an assistant professor of cultural anthropology at Kansas State University, he gave a talk at the Library of Congress on Monday, the 23rd, so it's a week ago from people watching the podcast on the day it's released. He's saying that people on YouTube aren't just people dancing and having fun, but people dancing in front of billions of people all over the world. We're all looking at... That was one of his quotes, was to that effect.
So what are you going to give this?
I'm going to give it a thumbs down.
I'm going to give it a thumbs to the side. I'm going to be generous here, because this guy was also the same guy who came up with the video called A Vision of Students Today that made the Dig homepage.
I didn't see that.
Probably about like 6 months ago or so. It was just statistics displayed during like students walking around and stuff. It wasn't the best video, but it was pretty well done. So.
See, I go along with the pitch of like as far as his actual like thesis. I go along with the idea that people on YouTube are trying to get famous, or at least like internet famous, or like famous within a community of people,
like us.
And that they're not just like, they're not doing this unique type of communication, or like that they're just like trying to understand this new language. I think they just like, it is as simple as people just dancing and having fun and like wanting to just be like look how cool I am, you know, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think he's being a little, taking it too seriously when he compares someone dancing on YouTube to Hillary Clinton like winning the race.
Okay, that's a good point. Okay, moving on. Survey says only half of college students use ebooks. Originally reported by the Chronicle, only 51% of students use ebooks, and another 51% say they would choose ebooks over the print versions if given the choice. Key point there. And another point of the article was that U.S. students use ebooks less than students around the world. I'm going to give this one a thumbs to the side.
I'm going to give it a thumbs down.
Again, geez, negativity here.
I'm being harsh. Another statistic that it said it was like 77% of students who do find things online are getting them from their library, which I think is like such a pathetic, awful thing. That 77% of it is restricted to the like, I mean, because obviously these people aren't using like textbooks. I guess I'm thinking about this in the textbook vein, you know. But it's just like research. How often are you going to dig into an ebook? I just don't think it's like that.
Yeah, and like this thumbs to the side for me was just that like ebooks are kind of like in a weird classification right now. Like, what distinguishes an ebook from like just a PDF file with a lot of information in it.
Or just like a well-written website or something.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And I think ebooks are still not even close to mainstream. So, yeah, that's my
That
take
was
on
well
it.
under 90 seconds.
Yeah.
So we'll hit up story number 4, calling it Bucks for Brendan.
$3 for Brendan, I believe.
$3 for Brendan. Because this guy named Brendan Baker got into the Oxford Business School, the MBA program.
Yes.
He's got $90,000 to pay.
Yes.
And he's
That's
asking
huge.
for each person to give him $3. 30,000 people to give him $3 so that he can earn enough money to go to school.
Yeah. So I think this is thumbs up. This is a huge, huge thing for, yeah, it's just like one of those internet things that is probably going to work and it's probably going to pay for this guy's education.
I'm going to give it thumbs to the side.
Thumbs to the side, all right.
Because I'm a naysayer still. And I think it's because it's a great idea and like more power to you, man. He's like almost earned $3,000 so far.
Which is huge.
Which is, I don't know. I mean, that's a tenth of what he needs to earn.
Yeah.
Or that's not even a tenth. That's way less.
3%.
Yeah, that's like nothing compared to what he has to earn. As well as the fact that like if everyone did that, it would never work. Yeah. So.
True. But he's going to be the first and probably the only to attempt to do something like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agree with that. Okay.
All right.
So
and now, on to someone shotgunning a beer. All right, this is our review segment where we're going to start reviewing everything from movies to beer, actually. And today we're doing a beer review. And so for those of you that are blind or insensitive to corporate advertising, Bud Light has been pushing the hell out of a new summery beer for the last 3 months.
Well, we've decided to buy some and review it on the show and compare it with Bud Light with actual lime in it. So what you're about to see is completely like first take material.
Yes.
We're just going to try it right now. And we're trying a little bitch drink, basically.
Yeah, and if you haven't guessed it already, the beer we're reviewing is Bud Light Lime.
Yes. So those of you who saw at the top of the show that we were going to review a beer and we're excited about what it could be. Sorry to have crushed your drink.
Sorry to have
We've had some awesome beers since we have been here.
Yes, we have.
But it's been nice to be back in Bud Light territory, I have to say so.
There's something about Bud Light that's just so magical.
So
there's a really good beer bar in San Francisco called Tornado. I mean, it's kind of touristy, but if you're ever in San Francisco, definitely check it out. So right now I'm just pouring myself
I'm pouring
some normal Bud Light.
I'm pouring both of them equally to like give them the full chance. You can already sort of see there's like a little bit of a greenness to it, maybe.
Is there really?
No,
actually, hold them up.
There
look. Is there really?
There's a little bit of a tint. I think they would do that at least subliminally.
Yeah.
You know,
regardless if there was flavor or not.
I would like to compare the ingredients if we could, but this is from a box, which the box probably had the ingredients on it.
Okay, so
that would be great.
I'm really gonna lime this up.
But he's gonna lime the shit out of that.
Okay.
I'm just gonna try this. Okay.
Okay.
Right here.
We'll do like a judge on like our reaction. Whoever's like more disgusted is the worst.
Okay. I've tried this before, but not this.
Okay.
So
here we go. I tasted exactly how I thought it would.
This actually really tastes pretty crappy, man. This is like, I'm really surprised at like how
much they botched this operation. Okay, here we go. Switching to the Bud Light with lime over here.
It tastes like.
Hold on.
It really tastes like a. Okay, I'm gonna get the first word though. So now Kelly's trying it. It really tastes like a Bud Light bitch drink, kind of.
Oh.
Like they really have like tried to have it have this like Smirnoff kind of thing to it. Is it really that bad compared to the actual Bud Light lime?
Oh yeah. Going from